What's up, guys? Thanks for joining for another casted replay. Very excited to bring this one to you guys today. Two very top tier players. We have Coops playing on the High Elves, and we have ODM Rocket Roo playing on the Lizardmen. Uh, Very excited for this game. I have not seen it yet, so I'm going to attempt to cast this and watch along with you guys. And if I miss anything, my apologies to both the players. I'm going to try my best to cover everything that's going on, but with these top tier players, sometimes it's hard to follow everything they do, but we'll do our best to cover it for you guys. So, starting off with the builds, as always, for the Lizardmen, we have a front line of skink cohorts, pretty standard stuff, basically the Lizardman chaff unit. In the back line, we have look like 4 skink cohorts with javelins. These javelins are also poison, so they'll be helping out the front line, weakening them a little bit and slowing them down. Making it a little easier for their skink cohort buddies in the front line when they come clashing in with those spearmen of the elves. On the flanks, looks like we have 2 units of feral cold ones. These guys are armor piercing, fairly high armor, and quite fast. Very good flanking unit. They do suffer from low leadership though, and they do tend to rampage fairly easily. Looks like 2 more over on the other side. And for his core and lord, we have Lord Mazdamundi himself. Let's check his abilities. He's got all his passive abilities, and it looks like he's also got Ruination of Cities. That's one of his passives, I believe, a very strong armor-piercing wind type ability. But for spells, he has Apotheosis, which is healing, and his Net of Amin Talk for locking down targets within a certain radius, probably Imric, so Imric can't dive onto him, and he can trap him and hold him down. Also for his little mob squad here to get in on them. He's also running the Regiment of Renown, the Shredder of Lustria, Dread Saurian. This thing is a monster. Well, I mean, obviously, yeah, it's a monster. I just meant it is very powerful. 15,000 HP. He's got ranged on top, skink shooting poison darts with 671 damage. Those things don't just tickle. And 750 weapon strength, armor piercing, quite high leadership, and 100 armor. So that is going to be tough to deal with. We'll see what the High Elves come up with. And running along beside, we also have a Bastillodon Revocation Crystal. This guy has the ability to heal. I think he has, 7 uses. He has 7 uses, a nice little heal, and also a strong monster in itself. But I'm assuming he's here to support Mazdamundi and the Dread Saurian to keep them nice and healed up, to keep them in the front fight, because this is definitely the elite of his army. The rest of this stuff is pretty low tier stuff, but we'll see what his game plan is. Now for Coops, on the other side, playing as the High Elves, we have a front line of Spearmen. Always a good solid unit, anti-large, which will probably come in handy against these guys. He's going to need some spears, and he's going to need some anti-large. Out on the right flank, we have Lyrian Reavers, some cavalry to do some flanking and some counter charging. And I think I saw, yes, on the other side here, we have the Dragon Princes. These are, I believe, the strongest high elf cavalry there is. There's no armor piercing, but they are highly armored, and they do have good stats, good melee attack and defense, and weapon strength. So they'll be pretty good. They're pretty high tier cavalry. I'm sure he'll find some good targets in this army. In the back, we have 2 units of Shadow Walkers. These guys are poison. I think they're a little bit of a hybrid unit. They can attack. They have pretty good melee stats. Very good range. These guys have stalk, so they remain hidden until the enemy gets close enough to see them. They can also fire while moving in a 360 direction, and as you can see, this is their range way out here. So they actually have a huge range for an archer, and they can shoot in every direction. So that's going to be very handy. He also has some Ithalmar chariots here to run into the infantry in the front line. I'm sure with all those skinks, they'll make some pretty good targets. These guys are anti-infantry, highly armored, so they'll be pretty tough if he keeps those on the move. He also is running a Mage of Life with both her healing spells for Imric. And he also has a Mage of Metal with Plague of Rust, which is cast on the enemy, reduces armor by 30 for 44 seconds. So that will come in handy for the the high armored, high value targets that the Lizardmen have on the other side. And for the Lord, of course, he has Imric himself on his dragon with all his abilities, Dragon Horn, Lord of Dragons, and his Star Dragon's Breath. So, oops. So, yeah, this will be an interesting game. I can't wait to check this one out and see what happens. So, without further ado, let's check things out and see how the game plays out. That is a pretty cool looking unit, I must say, the Shredder of Lustria. Love seeing these guys on the battlefield. Always entertaining to watch a battle that these guys are in. Now, the Elven Bolt Throwers begin to fire, wherever the hell they are. The Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers begin to fire back here. Just putting a little tickle on the Shredder there. That didn't do much to him. Just letting them know they're around. Gonna get some firing in. I personally never had very good luck with Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers. I just find them very underperforming, but maybe that's just my experience. We'll see what Coops can do. Right away, he brings in his chariots, actually. I almost missed this. Right on the right side, smashing these chariots through the front line, right back into the javelins, and with Imric supporting, diving right in on these guys, basically destroying the right flank right away with Imric and his chariots. So Coops getting right in there, getting the action started. Meanwhile, skink cohorts in the front line find their targets. Spearmen run out to meet them, while the Shadow Walkers attack from the back. Cavalry hanging out on the side for now, probably waiting to countercharge. Yep, and here it is. Countercharge these Feral Cold Ones. That should go fairly well for the Dragon Princes. We'll check back in on that. Mages just standing by for now, waiting to do their thing when they need to. Looks like Dragon Horn was just fired from Imric, so this will give a good melee and defense burst to all the Elven units. Shredder of Lustria charging in, going right for his Dragon Princess. Probably a good target. Looks like a Plague of Rust was dropped down on him, so he had minus 30 armor for a little bit, and actually did take quite a bit of damage from the archers, and I'm not quite sure what else, but he's definitely taken some good damage there. The cavalry and the mage will try to hold down that side and keep the Shredder busy. Meanwhile, in the back line, Imric still fighting off these Feral Cold Ones. Probably a good idea, taking care of the mobility on this side so he can't come around and flank his bolt throwers and archers. Elven front line not having too much of a hard time with these skinks and javelins. They should get through those pretty good, but there are quite a few, and they are starting to penetrate through to the back line, so we'll have to be careful. Ruination of Cities coming down from Lord Mazdamundi on these Shadow Walkers, just basically routing them right off the field, so that probably hurt the Coops, but what can you do when Mazdamundi comes through on his big Triceratops? Anyway, looks like these Dragon Princes did a good job, basically rampaged and cleaned off one of the Feral Cold One units, still fighting the Shredder of Lustria. Looks like a little protection dome goes down here, shield of the old ones, 20% damage reduction for the Lizardmen, just to keep them in the fight a little longer and taking a little less damage, with the Bastillodon healing up in the background, keeping the Shredder of Lustria nice and healthy and rolling. The Shadow Waywalkers continue to skirmish and move away. They can fire while moving, so they continually move. They want to stay mobile so they don't get caught up with any of these big monsters and continue to fire. The ones that were routed earlier rally back and begin to fire back in on Lord Mazdamundi. Now, Imric, he had to leave. He got back in the sky, maybe waiting for cooldowns. They still did have some Feral Cold Ones on the right side. They must have came back, and now they are flanking in, trying to get on these Shadow Walkers and the Bolt Throwers. Doing a good job. Lizardmen look like mostly controlling the flanks here, so they're probably going to start to push in from either side. Spears did a good job in the front line with support from the Illyrian Reavers, and the Chariot did a great job microing that Chariot. I haven't seen that thing stop yet, so that thing is probably getting some pretty good value. Just dicing up all these weaker infantry units. Shredder of Lustria finally comes in, hits the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers. That's enough of that. Those things probably won't be firing again. Oh, he gets another Overcast Plague of Rust with minus 60 armor at the moment, down to 40 armor, so this is a good time to do damage to him. Imric dives into these 3 giant dinosaurs, and I don't know if he's going to want to do that. That's probably not a fight Imric's going to want to be in for very long. Imric is very tough on his dragon, but against these 3 things, I'm not sure there's much he's going to be able to do against that. Spearman here to support, though. That's good. Kind of helped bail out Imric a little bit. These guys here, he's got the Apotheosis, he's healing up, and with the Rejuvenation Crystal, and yeah, the Shield of the Old Ones. That's going to be a really hard core to damage, to penetrate. But Imric gets away, doesn't take too much damage. Probably got some healing from his Mage Priest, which would have helped him out. Chariot's still in pretty good shape, just routing off all these low units, kind of cleaning them up, doing a good job. All the High Elf units are low, but they're all still here, and they're starting to kind of rally around. Oh, a big Ruination of Cities goes down on these. Trying to hit these Dragon Princess probably does a little bit of friendly fire, but it does take, both units are taken out and routing off. Same with both these Spearmen over here. That's gonna clean up this right side pretty good as far as melee. Oh, they immediately rally though with Imric in the area, so that's not too bad. Mage of Metal still over here. Oh, we still have some Shadow Walkers shooting off in the distance. That's good, cleaning up a few things. It's not too many units yet, but they're doing something. Lizardmen don't have much. They really don't have any army left. It's just the Lord and the Shredder and the Stillodon. So down to core units now. I would say the Elves have it as far as army-wise. They definitely won the army fight, but as far as big single entities, all they have is Imric, who is very healthy, but will he be able to get through all of this? That's a lot of dinosaur to get through. Goes in on the healing, attacking the Bastillodon, getting pretty good damage on, a couple good charges there, but he's very close to the Lord and the Dreadsaurian, so Imric's probably not going to get a lot done. He's definitely not going to be able to snipe that guy off real quick. The Shredder of Lustria just kind of charges him off of there, gets him off his little healing buddy there, and some Spearmen come in again for some support, but they are quite low, so I'm not sure how long they're going to hold this guy down or how much they're going to do to him. So on the flanks, we have rallied units coming in, Illyrian Reavers cleaning up these low units so they don't rally back in. We have a Mage of Life, looks like she's routing off. Spearmen doing what they can, but against this very healthy Lord Mazdamundi and a few skinks to back him up, they're not going to be able to do much. Bolt Throwers and Shadow Walkers back online, so he might be able to get a little bit of range and start poking down this Dreadsaurian. That's what he's really going to need to do, that. Keep these guys spread out and keep the range going while Imric fights and kind of keeps them busy in the front line. And hopefully get supported and healed up by his Mage of Life, which is still healthy, still running around. So the Mage of Life is no doubt healing up Imric as much as she can. Mage of Metal, by the over here, low, but did come back, so that's good. He might still need that to lower the armor, these big single entities, because these guys have such high armor that the High Elves don't really have enough penetration to get through this very effectively without some kind of help from the spells. Imric just chilling up in the sky for now, probably waiting for some cooldowns, just catching his breath, letting some of the range and few units that he has left do some of the work, do some of the tanking, try to get some damage, soften these guys up. They are the Shredder is down to half health, which is pretty good, and they are poisoned, but this Bastillodon just constantly healing them back up. I wonder how many heals he has left here. He only has 2 left, so man, that guy's been healing constantly. High Elves have really been fighting through a lot of healing, and they've done a really good job. This game has been quite a scrap. I did worry right from the start, though, what the High Elves would have to answer this Shredder of Lustria. Like, even Mazdamundi on his own is tough to deal with, but this Shredder just seems to be ripping through everything he runs into with all that healing and support to back him up. Imric, probably a wise choice, coming in with the chariots here to try to pick off this Bastillodon, even though he probably only has 1 heal left anyway. Still a big single entity that it's heavily armored, armor piercing and anti-infantry, so definitely need to get rid of it if they want to win this game, but most of the High Elf units have routed off at least once or twice and completely shattered, so those are actually skinks. But, ooh, another Shield of the Old Ones going down. These guys 20% damage reduction, so they're going to be pretty tough. And they just start bodying into Imric. Not much support left for Imric, even though the balance of power is slightly tipped in the Lizardmen favor. I would definitely agree with that, just with what's on the field at the moment. Imric is very healthy and very powerful, but I just don't know if he can get through all this. But we'll see. I hope he does. Still has both his Mage of Metal and Mage of Life back here supporting him, so there's another Plague of Rust going down on the Shredder of Lustria, so his armor is down right now. He is slightly vulnerable. A little bit of fire support from the Shadow Walkers doing what they can. They do have some poisoning, so it's all helping. Imric staying quite healthy with this Mage of Life, keeping him boosted up, so it's good that she stayed alive. Get some chariots in there, running a little bit of interference. Imric just needs a quick timeout here to get into the air and recoup a little bit. Bastillodon just it's probably out of heals by now, I would imagine. Still has one, actually. Might be on cooldown. Just decides to charge in, start taking out some of these archers. Probably a good idea. There's not much he has to worry about at this point, except for Imric, who does isolate him over here. And this could be a mistake from our Lizardman player here. He's quick. He's got support coming, but it's a little ways off. Ooh, man, he's getting him down quite low. This thing might rout off. It doesn't like being smacked by dragons, even though it does look quite tanky. What does the High Elves don't have a lot left that they can call back. Basically nothing. I don't Spearmen way over here, but they're so far away they're not really going to be able to do much to help. Imric does really good damage on this Bastillodon. Another shield of the old ones going down, providing damage reduction for the Lizardmen. Yeah, boy, now he's completely surrounded. A little bit of chariots. They're anti-infantry though. They're not going to do much to these big single entities. Almost got the Bastillodon down. He is really low. The Shredder's actually getting quite low too. This is a pretty good, we got a good fight here going on between a dragon and a dino. Oh, and another one in the back. Can Imric pull it off? Getting attacked in the rear, in the front, basically on the flanks as well. He did just get a heal there, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. Nope, he actually starts to rout off. And against this absolute goon squad, I'm not sure what poor Imric would have been able to do, but that was an awesome game. That was really fun to watch. And GG's to both players. Really well played. I really like the build. It's basically a big goon squad of healing versus the High Elves, who were trying to use their mages to heal Imric, keep him in the fight, and also lower the armor of these big high armor targets. But unfortunately, it just wasn't quite enough, but very well played to both players. Very fun to watch, very entertaining. So, gonna do more replays like this in the future, you guys. Cast other players, and if anyone has any replays they want to be casted by me, then I can certainly give it a try. And just message me on the channel, and I can put my Steam or my Discord in there, and start casting some other games, not just my own. So. Thanks to Coops and ODM Rocket Roo. Appreciate the replay, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.